The question asks, what is it that you struggle with the most when you are trying to learn Quran? And I see all sort of answers. People saying, I struggle with my recitation, I struggle with A, B, C, and D. So I thought, you know what, if I give you 8 steps that you need to take to get Ijazah in Quran, you can very easily then decide where you at. So let me explain what I'm saying. If I show you the 8 steps that it takes for anyone to get to the highest level of Quran recitation, which is becoming part of the isnad in Quran, then you would know exactly what level are you on. Once you realize, once you know what level you are on, you can then you can decide what is the next level that you need to take, or you can decide then, you know what, I'm not good enough, I need to go back. Does that make sense, guys? So what I'm doing today in this live session, I'm literally giving you the ladder. I am giving you this. A lot of you want to get here, and I'll tell you why you should get here, but you don't know where you are. So let's start with this. Quran, words of Allah Azza wa Jal. First of all, you got to understand why Sanad, why Quran, why Quran. Read Quran, you should read Quran. Quran is very good. You should recite Quran every day. Why? I'm going to answer that for you. Hear me out. Because no, it might be the case, because a lot of times when I tell this to people, they say, oh, no one ever told me this. So hear me out. This is a human being. This is you. Okay? Just like your body have needs, your eyes need to rest. They need to sleep. There would be no perfume industry. No one would sell perfume if you don't have a nose. If no one smells, if no one can smell, no one will be selling perfume. Your nose have needs, but your nose have to rest. Your tongue like to taste good food, but your tongue also have to rest. Is anyone familiar with people who taste coffees? They taste coffees? They have to take a break, because after a while your tongue gets used to tasting coffee, then you don't know the difference between coffees. Just like your nose, if you go and you smell too much perfume, your nose, you get sick because your nose need rest. Your body need rest. What else your body needs? It needs food. It needs water. True or not, guys? These are your bodily needs. These are the needs associated to your body. But then there is something in your body, we call it heart. Which heart am I talking about? Not the physical heart. I'm talking about the spiritual heart. This heart, the doctor will tell you, for you to strengthen your physical heart, do exercise, eat badam, whatever. We're talking about the spiritual heart. Your spiritual heart here, the green one, have needs. And the spiritual need of this heart is how do you feed this heart? How do you grow this heart? It's by dhikr. What is dhikr? Dhikr is remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal. Without it, your heart dies. Let me tell you what happens when your heart dies, because you need to know this, because Allah Musta'an, and that's just like all of us, sometimes in our life, your heart dies. And what happens when your heart dies? Doesn't matter where you go, how much you eat, what you wear, where you live, you don't enjoy. Subhanallah. I'll give you guys a very quick example here. In the month of Ramadan, when you're fasting, and you stop eating, you stop drinking, all the rest of it, what happens when you start eating? The simplest food feels just so much. Yeah? That feeling is different from when you're on a diet, or when you do water diet, or all the, it's completely different. It's not the same. Look at the feeling. I'm talking about the feeling here. You stop eating, drinking, you're tired, you're restless in the month of Ramadan, which is 6 months away. How do you feel? All of a sudden, even water feels like a blessing. Everything, your experience in this world enhanced so much. Yeah, all of a sudden now, simplest things. Why? Because your heart is nurtured. You guys understand? When your heart is full with the dhikr of Allah, when your heart is content, the simplest things you start enjoying them more. Have you guys heard of this phrase that says, less is more? You guys heard of this? You would never, if you really want to experience this, understand what your heart needs and fulfill needs of your heart. When your heart is fulfilled, when your heart is in the right place, subhanallah, the same old house, the same car that you complain about, the same people that always say bad, all these family members, all of a sudden everything is fine. Subhanallah. Why? Because your heart is in the right place. Who can relate to this? If you relate to this, say me. I'm seeing 44 people here. I'm seeing 62 people here. I want to see how many of you can relate to this. Huh? How many of you can relate to this? So, I'm going to continue, and I'm keeping an eye on your comments, by the way, yeah? So when I ask the question, it's not like I'm just ignoring your answer. If you're watching this live stream later on, please pause the video, answer the question and continue, because the more you answer me, the more you are answering me back, the more you will benefit. If you sit there and don't type anything, don't do anything, then you won't benefit as much. So let's go back to, when your heart is in the right place, when your heart is nourished, then your body is in the right place, your mind is in the right place, everything's subhanallah. And I'm going to give you guys another example, proof that this is so true. You're tired, you come back from sleep, and it's late night, and you know tomorrow you have to wake up, blah, 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 all the rest of it, you know. All of a sudden, someone says to you in the house, oh, this new movie, and this famous actor that you like, or you like their acting. What happens? All of a sudden, that tiredness, I need to sleep, it goes away. And you're watching the movie for the next 2 hours. I thought you're tired. Hello. I thought you're tired. You need to sleep. You watch that movie for 2.5 hours. I thought you're tired. But in the same moment, you're tired, you had a long day, and tomorrow you have to wake up. If I say to you, no, you can't go to sleep, read Quran for 15 minutes, this is the sort of sound that's going to come out of you. I'm tired. If I say to you, no, before you go to sleep, go pray with her. What's happening? What's happening? Your heart is not in the right place. Your heart is not in the right place. So guys, this is why Quran is so important. Quran is a form of dhikr. It's a form of remembering Allah Azza wa Jal. Words of Allah. There's nothing you can do better for your heart, for your spiritual heart, than reading Quran, because these are words of Allah. I'm keeping an eye on your comments, by the way, guys. Yeah, I'm not ignoring them. And this is why you need to, guys, just like you have needs associated to your body, you eat, you drink, you sleep, you do not skip these things on a daily basis. You have to nourish your heart on a daily basis. Now, let me ask you guys this question. If you're watching this video later on, pause and answer. Be honest. What is more important? What is more important, your spirit or your body? Needs of your heart. What's more important, needs of your heart or needs of your body? Give me an answer. If you say your body, your mind, these things are more important than your heart, then let me tell you, what happens when your spirit leaves your body? Your body dies. Doesn't matter how many times you go to the gym, how healthy you eat. Once your soul is gone, doesn't matter. So now soul, your heart, the spiritual heart, is more important than your body. Does that make sense, guys? Your heart is way more important. Looking after your heart is way more important. It's a higher priority. But we don't see it like that. You see? And so this is why you should be concerned about Quran. This is why you should try to develop a relationship with the Quran, learn, study Quran, because not just lying down and listening to it on YouTube, guys. You need to have a relationship with Quran. Not just listening while you're cleaning the house. No, that's not a relationship. Guys, you like someone, you love someone, and you're talking to them and you're cleaning the house. Really? They're going to say to you, you don't look at me when you speak. You're not giving me any attention. That's not. This is why people go out and have a meal. You need a relationship with Quran. That's your need, guys. That's your need. Yeah? Subhanallah. Last week, I literally had a small session with someone, and this person was telling me they went through very difficult times in life, and it got them back to Quran. And I was listening to them and I was saying, subhanAllah, that's all of us. When we go through difficult times in life, we go back to Allah, we go back to Quran. But guys, that's not how it should be. You should already have a relationship with Allah, already have a relationship with Quran. So something happens in your life, your heart is in the right place. Your heart is in the right place. So this is why you should consider learning what you're going to learn today. Now, I took 10 minutes to explain this because, guys, a lot of time people think Quran is just when I was a kid and my mom and dad told me to learn, I just learned. Arabic? No. Your parents don't have to tell you don't eat ice cream in winter. You know it's bad for you. Then you don't. Your parents don't have to tell you don't eat too much sugar. You know, you've grown up. Just like that, your spiritual heart, the fact that you should nourish it, look after it, yes, it's your responsibility and you have to do that. And remember, one day you have to give it back to Allah. Say, this is amana. You're going to go back to Allah and Allah will ask you, what did you do with the heart? What did you do with the mind? What did you do with your body that I gave you as an amana, as a responsibility? You will be asked. So let's go back. Once you understand this is so important as eating, drinking, sleeping is to yourself. Now let's talk about Quran. Guys, the way Quran is preserved is by isnad. The reason you know Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, the way you know it is because there are chain of narrators who learn from each other, and that's how Quran got to you. It's not because it's written, it's not because we have it on YouTube. No. These things came way later. The way Quran is preserved is not in a written format. Allah preserves Quran sudur alladhina utul ilm, in the hearts of people. So here's what happened. When Quran was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, he memorized it and then he talked to Sahaba companions. Nothing written. Sahaba, they went on and they talked to people who came after them, tabi'een. And these tabi'een, and they went and they taught people that came after them. Heart to heart, nothing written, no YouTube video, no online courses, nothing. SubhanAllah. If you can be part of this chain, we call this isnad. If you can be part of this chain, you are in the top 1%, call it the top 10%. Yeah. You are in the top 10% of people who are taking Quran from the previous generation and giving to the next generation. Okay, this is isnad. And also, I can talk about this a lot. The Prophet said, the best among you are the ones who learn Quran and teach it to others, both. Okay? Now, let's go back. This is why you should try to get Ijazah in Quran. But how do you get Ijazah in Quran? There are 8 steps, guys. Now, take these 8 steps. You don't have to join my course. You don't have to. I'm not the only one. Take these 8 steps so you can know where you are. Okay? Bismillah. The first thing you have to do if you're trying to get Ijazah in Quran, that you have to find a teacher. You cannot do this on your own. You cannot do this by watching videos, online courses. You need a teacher. Remember, let's go back to the chain of narrators. It's from a teacher. It's from one person to another. It's from one person to another. Now, you might find an app or find a website or a course, but then after you learn it, you have to narrate it to the teacher. Are you guys with me? The first thing you have to do, you have to find a teacher. Find a suitable teacher. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because it will sound like I'm trying to tell you, find me. Rather than find a teacher, you're going to think I'm trying to tell you, find me. Learn from me. Guys, find a teacher who you can make some progress with. Find a teacher who you have some sort of link with. That's very important, guys. Sometimes people have this idea, you know what, no, it's fine. If I'm learning Islam, if he's strict, it's fine. That's all I need. I just need someone to be strict. Literally, I had a call with someone today for 10 minutes. He was saying that there's a teacher who was teaching him, but he wasn't giving him any feedback. So the student didn't feel like he's improving. I said to him, well, then you look for a teacher who gives you feedback. Okay? You don't have to go and tell a teacher you're not doing your job properly. Find a teacher that when you learn with him is fun. Simple as that. that you don't mind learning with him. Now, it doesn't have to be that that the teacher is so fun. It doesn't have to be, but a teacher that can understand you and you can understand his style of teaching. Number one. Now, before I go to number two, can I ask how many of you had a teacher in the past who you really liked? And because of that, you ended up liking a subject. Who had this experience? Say me if you had this. Quick answer. You're watching this, pause and tell me. Subhanallah, I loved physics growing up because of the teacher. I loved math growing up because of the teacher. I hate chemistry, not because it was hard. Nope. Because of the teacher. Subhanallah. You see, the teacher can make all the difference. You can be sitting there thinking, nah, I can't learn Quran now. I'm such a bad student. It just doesn't work for me. You can be thinking, you can have all these thoughts until you realize if you find the teacher that you click with him, khalas, that's it. Yeah? Now, once you find a good teacher, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, what you have to do, you have to learn qaida. Why? So you are not relying on the teacher 24/7. Are you guys with me? So you're not relying on the teacher 24/7. And here's qaida. Qaida is a rule. Qawaid are rules. You learn qaida, so when you open the Quran and you see word that looks like this, you know how to read it. You don't need a teacher to tell you. In Quran, this word is fan. Fan. If you stop here, then you read it as fa. You don't need a teacher to tell you, or you learn rules so you can apply them. It's a bit like what you do when you're driving on the road. You see red, you stop. There doesn't have to be a policeman standing there telling you to stop, or a traffic warden. You don't need that. Just learn the rules and you follow them. Are you guys with me? What happened when people skip qaida or qawaid? When people skip this, they read Quran and they make a lot of mistakes and they don't realize why. People say, my tajweed is bad. No, you don't know the rules. Every time you're reading fan and you're stopping, you're reading it as fan. You didn't learn the rule. Now, can I ask you, how many of you think that you didn't learn qaida properly? I just want to know. How many of you think that maybe you learned it, but you didn't learn it properly? Let's see how many of you will say yes. I want to see if this was your time. Me? Can you believe this? I finished memorizing Quran and I did not know these rules. I just learned them. Yeah, I didn't even learn them. It's like the teacher would open the Quran. I'll give you an example. Look, the teacher would have Quran open, and the teacher would say, example. The teacher would say, "Lakum dinukum waliyadin," and I would say, "Lakum dinukum waliyadin." If the teacher said, "This is lakum dinukum waliyadini," I would read it as lakum dinukum waliyadini. I had no idea. If you stopped then, I didn't know these rules. And I relied on my teacher too much until I realized that I can't rely on him. If I knew this, my journey to memorize Quran, to get Sanad al-Quran would have been so much faster. Someone has asked, what about Tajweed? I'll come to Tajweed in a second. Next, after you learn Qaida or Qawaid, you learn how to read Quran. And this is where Tajweed comes, guys. Look, you can learn all the rules, but when you open the Quran and you start reciting Quran, you realize that someone needs to fix it. And we call it Tajweed. When you are reading Quran, so students who are enrolled in my Ijazah course, I'm not there to tell them, Lakum dinukum waliyadin. It's not dini. They don't make these mistakes. Why? I expect them to know these rules. I expect them not to. But what I fix is Tajweed. Are you guys with me? Fixing Tajweed and mistakes are two different things. I'll explain to you. Tajweed mistake. Someone says, وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. I would say, no. وَلَا, 4 counts. And 2 counts. Ma, 4 counts. A'bud, qalqala, bouncing letter. This is Tajweed. But if you say a'budu when you stop rather than saying a'bud, that's not tajweed mistake, that's qaida mistake. So you have to know the rules of reading, spelling Quran. Then you need to enhance your recitation and your pronunciation, and we call this tajweed. Tajweed basically means tahseen, to beautify something. Now, how many times I've seen people who would want to learn tajweed, but they do not know qaida properly. So someone would say, teach me tajweed, and I'm teaching him tajweed, and he is reading, وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ. This word is not عَابِدُونَ. It means you don't know the rules of spelling Quran properly. You're reading B as B. It means you learn qaida wrong. Yeah? Afraz is saying, I'm not confident because I never got enough feedback from my teachers. It happens a lot. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you think your recitation have tajweed problem or qaida problem? When you recite in Quran, what sort of problems do you have in your recitation? Qaida problems or tajweed problems? Let me see. Let me see how many of you answered this. I like that. Thank you, those of you live on TikTok. Please keep liking and sharing. You see? Okay. Very good. Okay. Okay, good. Now, the next step is, once you fix your qaida and tajweed mistakes, then you learn to be fluent in Quran. Let me tell you why. If you're trying to memorize Quran and you're not fluent, it's going to take you ages. Example, if I open a verse in Quran that you're familiar with, you can memorize it faster compared to a verse that you're not familiar with. So it's very important, once you know how to read Quran, you get fluent at it. In my previous Ijazah course, most students start slow and slowly they get fluent right toward the end. It's very important that you get fluent in Quran once you know how to recite it. And that happens when you read Quran constantly to a teacher. You repeat those words again and again, you become familiar with words in the Quran. I'm going to show you guys an example. You see this word here? I don't need to spell this word. This word is repeated in the Quran so many times that the word is antum. You read it enough, now you don't need to spell it, you don't need to think about it. As soon as you see it, you know you need to read it as antum. You realize this noon is empty. This noon doesn't really have anything on top. You read Quran enough to a teacher, you get familiar, and you realize every time there's an empty noon in the Quran, you're supposed to read it as with the sound. You see? That's next. Step number five, you need to master 1/30th of Quran. Guys, learning Quran, 1/30th of Quran, Juz Amma. Now, here is a big problem that happens with a lot of students. They say, I want to memorize the whole Quran. They start memorizing Juz number 30, they start memorizing Juz number 1, they start reciting Surah Al-Waqi'ah, they want to do everything. Big mistake. If you want to master 30 Ijzah of Quran, you need to master 1 Juz first. This is why in my Ijazah course, I only focus on Juz Amma. I'm only focusing on 1/30th of Quran. Because once you master 1/30th of Quran, the rest of the Quran becomes easy. Guys, what did I say? Words and letters in Quran they're constantly repeating. So if you fix 1/30th of Quran, you are likely to, here's what happens. When someone fixes all their mistakes in Surah Al-Fatiha, they are very less likely to make those mistakes in Surah Al-Nas, Surah Al-Falaq. Okay? But if you don't fix those mistakes, you carry on dragging those mistakes the rest of your Quran, and it becomes a problem. How many of you experience this? You learn Surah Al-Fatiha, and you say, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Rather than saying Ar-Rahman, you say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and no one fixes this mistake for you. And here's what happens. You continue to recite Ha as Ha. You say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, And then 10 years later, someone tells you your ha is wrong. The problem was the first time you recited Ar-Rahman, no one fixed your mistake. How many of you experienced this? If you experienced this, say me. Ambiya saying, I'm learning a lot. I'm glad you're learning a lot. You had this, yeah? So you see, words in Quran are repetitive. Ar-Rahmani, one of the names of Allah. You need to know how to pronounce this word properly. Ha is a whispering letter. Ar-Rahmani, it whispers. It comes from the middle of your throat. You say Ar-Rahmani, it's not Rahmani. It's Rah, ha, not ha. If I spend 10 days fixing this mistake, you won't make this mistake for the rest of your life. A lot of times students get caught up into, I need to move fast, I need to finish, I need to move fast. My mom said I have to finish in 1 month. And then what happens? Your dad finds out 10 years later you have so many mistakes. Then your dad says to your mom, it's your fault, and your mom says it's not my fault, it's your fault. We call this argument. Are you guys with me? Look at this word. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. The exact same thing here. The exact same thing. And you would find this so many times in the Quran, guys. So many times. Next. Once you become fluent in Quran recitation and you master 1/30 of Quran, and this is what my Ijazah course is for, which is starting tomorrow, and I've only got 2 slots left. If you guys, if any of you are interested, once you master 1 Juz'ah, then you master the rest of the Quran. It becomes very easy, guys. It's very easy, but you have to master the first juz very carefully, and you need to do it properly. Whether it's recitation, whether it's memorization, you need to master it. I tell my students all the time, my students will say, I want to read Surah An-Nas. I say to him, you recite Surah An-Nas better than anyone else you have ever known. When you recite one surah, I want you to recite it better than everyone else. You guys with me? So the way you recite Surah Al-Fatiha should be the best. That's my rule. When a student is learning with me and they recite Fatiha, I want them to recite it the best they have ever recited and better than everyone else. Not so they can go back and tell everyone you are so bad. No, because I expect that from you. If you learn one thing, I want you to learn it better. How is my problem? I'm going to teach you. I'm going to try. I'm going to keep reminding you. But you have to do it better than everyone else, inshallah. Yeah? Once again, guys, if you master 1 page of Quran, you can master 20 pages, and that's 1 juz' of Quran. If you master 1 juz' of Quran, which is 20 pages, then you can master the rest of the Quran. It becomes very easy. But if you do not do this right, then you will struggle. And a lot of time when people struggle, Shaitan comes down and tells them, learning Quran is hard, give it up. Well, it's not hard, it became hard. Learning Quran is not hard, it had become hard because you're following a wrong strategy. Because you're not fixing one thing, but you are moving, and then so many mistakes, so many problems. Okay? Once you can recite Quran fluently, easily, the whole Quran, then you start memorizing it. Can you start memorizing Quran before you learn how to read all of it properly? Yes, you can if you're fluent. If you master recitation of 1 juz of Quran and you can read it fluently, then you can start memorizing it. If you start memorizing before you become fluent at reciting it easily with Tajweed, your recitation will be full of mistakes. Guys, amazing masjid. Not gonna say the name of the masjid. Amazing masjid here near in our area. Beautiful masjid. You go to that masjid, oh, beautiful. Imam says, وَلَا he's reading wrong. And you know, every time he pronounces bod, he says za. No one corrected him. Still no one correcting him. You see? Mistake that is not corrected, you carry it for the rest of your Quran. Becomes huge. So you gotta fix one small thing and then everything else will fix. Again, words and letters in Quran are repetitive. So you gotta fix everything right at the beginning. And once you can memorize the whole Quran by heart, then you can easily take Sanad. You can easily take Sanad. Okay, the first time I went to take Sanad from a teacher, he tested me and he said, you have mistakes that you are not aware of. Again, because I didn't learn Qaida because of all the issues. He said to me, go fix your mistakes so you can get Ijazah easily. So I went and I fixed all my mistakes, came back, recited the whole Quran to one teacher over 2 months, and I got my Sanad very easy. Now, my question to you is, from the 8 steps that I just showed you right now on the screen here, excuse my drawing, excuse my writing, what step do you think you're on? What level do you think you're on? Do you think you are stuck at finding a good teacher? And until you find a good teacher, you are just going to sleep? Do you think you are stuck at learning Qaida? You don't know the rules and do you think you are stuck at Tajweed? Your reading is good, your pronunciation is good, but you just can't be fluent. You have a problem with fluency. Are you still struggling to master 1/30th of Quran? Now, rest of the things, I'm just going to dismiss them for now. 1 to 5. Where do you find yourself? If you are somewhere after 5, 6, 7, 8, then you have to... Okay. I feel like I'm forcing you now, huh? Okay, hear me out. If you're somewhere 6, 7, and 8, you need to look for a teacher who can give you one-on-one time. If you're interested in that, message on WhatsApp, but again, it's paid. Huh? You have to look for something more private, one-on-one, all the rest of it. If you're stuck somewhere in between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I have solutions. Now, if you have minor spelling mistakes, minor tajweed mistakes, your fluency is okay, then I would say I have Ijazah program to offer you. Someone said, I'm interested, please. How can I sign up? So hear me out. Hear me out. I'm at 5, I'm at 3. Someone said, struggling to master 30 juz. Okay. Someone said 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. I have this Ijazah course that I'm starting tomorrow, and the registration is almost coming to an end. It means I'm no longer taking more students. However, I have 2 slots left. Let me just show you what it is. If it's not for you, you can leave it. This Ijazah course is going to help you master the 30th part of Quran. 30th part of Quran. 1 juz, which is 20 pages. This is for someone who can read okay. Tajweed is okay. Reading is okay. If you can't spell Quran, if you can't recognize words in Quran, but this is not for you. So hear me out. When you purchase this course, you get access to this, and you get access to live classes every day, Monday to Friday, twice a day. So attending classes every single day of the week, Monday to Friday. What's inside the course? Inside the course, I have these videos that if you watch over and over again, your learning will become so much faster. I'll give you an example. When I teach you Surah Al-Fatiha, I have 2 videos for you. Fatiha level 1, Fatiha level 2. You watch the video, you watch me reciting, and you watch it again and again, and it will all your mistakes, hopefully. Then you come in the class and you read it to me, and I will tell you this is your mistake, that is your mistake, and I'll highlight your mistakes so you are fixing those mistakes. Are you guys with me? I've done this course before, so I'm going to show you guys this real quick, inshallah ta'ala. I'll drop the link for you guys here. On my website, if you press the word Ijazah, you will get here. We're literally starting our first class tomorrow. I want you guys to go through these reviews and read them. These are all the students who've done this course with us previously. See if you can relate to them. Someone 34 years old, someone 40 years old, someone 20 years old, and we had a kid who was 11 years old. This is a paid course. There are 2 payment options. Once again, I only have limited slots, and there are only few slots are left, 2 or 3. Once all the slots are gone, you won't be able to purchase this course anymore. The course starting tomorrow. If you are unsure, then go and book a Tajweed checkup call. You'll see it here. Book a 10-minute call, 20-minute call, and I can maybe test you, and maybe you can make a better decision. If not, then you go and you purchase the course straight away. Yes, memorise is saying, is this course for someone who can read Quran but can't read it fluently? Yes. Yes, it is. And believe me when I tell you, if you learn to become fluent in reciting one juz of Quran, it enhances your reading for the rest of your Quran. It does wonders. But you have to focus on one part, which is 1/30 of Quran. So I'm struggling 1 to 5. If you're struggling with everything else, then we can work on that inshallah later. I have a qaida course, but that's for another day, inshallah. I'm taking all the questions, please. Taking all your questions. Please drop your questions now.